So tell me who you are, Nick, because you are Nick.
I am Nick. I'm a one-man band that is the glue between.
Right.
So I specialize in long-form content for B2B, typically tech companies, but work across all industries. I don't niche down. I specialize in long-form content, do a lot of ABM work with certainly with mid to large enterprises, do a bit of presenting, a bit of emceeing.
When you say MC, is that rapping? Or?
Yeah. You probably know me better by my rap name, Lumpy Mail.
Lumpy Mail. Amazing. Love it.
Yeah.
MC Lumpy Mail.
MC Lumpy Mail, yeah. So yeah, set up the glue between 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Kind of did the whole corporate career, climbing the ladder and learning a lot of ropes, And then, set up and went out on my own 3 years ago. And so far, so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So explain long form content. So there will be people who will be like, what the hell does that mean? And then you use some acronyms as well. So you probably need to explain those as well.
Oh, we love an acronym, especially in B2B, which is an acronym in itself. So what is long form content? Long form content, subjectively, is actually, I see it not so much as how many words is it, because I think that's kind of a bit of red herring. Long form content is getting into the depths of, typically in the world of tech that I work in, something that's inherently complex or has a lot of drivers and pain points surrounding it for a specific audience. So there's a lot of awareness, education, providing information, and increasingly, which is what I do a lot of when I'm interviewing subject matter experts internally at client-side companies and also externally in wider industry subsectors, is extracting unique insights from specific people that you can then use to inform awareness and insight-led content. So what does long-form content mean in the day-to-day? It's, for me, writing a lot of what we call ABM, first acronym, account-based marketing content that clients will use to go out to a specific audience to target a very select audience, one to few, one-to-one kind of sizing. It would be tens up to hundreds, with very specific content around a specific topic, specific pain points, specific insights to those pain points. And it's really about creating a narrative in longer form that can drive, hopefully, conversations and build brand authority in a specific market sector.
Okay. Yeah. So how are you and the glue between? I'm going to separate you off now. So how are you involved with HSE then? So how, I've met you at several events.
Yeah. So I work with the HSE Global Series team, capturing content on site and bringing to life some of the moments, hopefully memories as well, and capturing those moments and memories from on site so that we can put them into live daily content that goes out to the on-site delegation.
Yeah.
You're coming down to an event, there's so many sessions going on. HSE have some amazing keynotes, and they work really diligently to not just kind of get people on the hamster wheel that are doing book tours or things like that. There's so much good storytelling that happens, not just in those keynotes and on stages, but also in the networking breaks and also in the evenings. And it's about capturing those key moments or those exciting, engaging stories that people are sharing and getting them down onto a couple, hopefully, of pages that we can then share out to the delegation. So I work very closely with the team in doing that.
So Stuart Hughes talked about said report. So if you watch it, so if you watch the Stuart Hughes podcast, you'll see him talking about, at the end of the day, it's an intense day, and having those roundups and just having those is enough to be able to take things back to the team so you don't forget stuff. And he put that as one of his key things that separates this off from other events, that actually these bits of content were really, really positive.
Well, thank you, Stuart.
Yeah, well, exactly.
Lovely man.
Yeah. Do you know Stuart?
We've bumped heads very briefly.
Bumped heads.
Bumped
Wow.
heads.
Yeah.
Bumped heads.
Not bumped into each other.
No. That makes sound like
now he knows it's you. He's not going to like it as much.
Well, I know. Well, yeah. Also, potential accident at an HSE event. I don't know. There's a risk assessment there, but it's very nice of Stuart to say. So they're called. So we do at the end of each day. It's called Field Notes. Field Notes Day 1, Field Notes Day 2, which is exactly what Stuart's just described. At the end, typically about a week after the event, we'll also produce a full post-event report, which is very corporate and very stuffy. Yeah. It's called the Insight Line, and it's hopefully trying to do exactly that. Yeah. Just provide key moments, key stories that were told based on those insight lines from certain conversations, certain keynotes, certain workshops that have happened across the 2 and a bit days. So it's not about here's a whole load of information, and even more importantly, here's everybody's slides and PowerPoint decks, because nobody looks at them. In all honesty,
they do.
Yes,
right?
yes, they do. Anyone listening or watching this will be like, I've asked for 1 million PowerPoints. How many of them I've actually looked at? But the point of this content is to be able to make it digestible. Yeah. It's so you can just capture back and re-record those moments of, I remember the line enclosure. Yeah. I remember the goldfish bowl that we were talking about yesterday and came up in yesterday's event. So it's about just trying to capture small little quick moments that mean a lot to the delegation that were on site, or at least mean something to the delegation that were on site, that they can then kind of refer back to use when they're in their office or out in the field.
So you're going to be at all of the events this year?
I believe so, yeah. So I will be at HSE Europe, be at HSE Canada later in the year. We're starting to plan for 2026 already as well, which is good. So I'll be doing the remainder of the events for this year and testing out some more content as well. I think in general with B2B events, there's so much going on. Coming from having spent many years on the event provider side myself, there understandably are so many moving parts that you don't see just to get that first opening keynote on stage.
Yeah.
That there's actually some quick low-hanging fruit that is missed a lot of the time when it comes to content, because the focus is always on the speakers, or is always on the meetings, or it's always on corralling everybody and making sure, obviously, that everybody's having a great time. But actually, how do we get content? Sorry, my phone's going off. How do we... Just getting into something good.
Yeah.
How do we get good content on site? Because you've already done all of the hard work. You've already got everybody here. As far as I'm concerned, from a content perspective, that's actually a really strong opportunity to cream off the top of all the hard work you've already done.
Yeah.
So that's what we're looking to do. And we'll look to experiment more with that as well. So, having you guys here as a podcast is amazing. Us having this conversation here, there's so much more content that we, after this, I'm sure we'll start spitballing about what we could do for some of the next events.
Yeah, I was just saying to Simon. So Simon is behind over here, actually pressing the buttons and controlling everything. So anything that goes wrong is Simon's fault. Yeah. If I say anything stupid, it's probably AI as well.
Yeah, it's a ditto for me.
Yeah. Simon added AI into the conversation. Yeah. We were talking about earlier, and I think it's about that optimization, isn't it? So we did we took this format out to Nashville. Mm. Bits of it worked, bits of it didn't. So we were like, right, we're UK event, let's look at that. So we optimized the flow again to go, right, so what do we change there? And I think, we'll probably have a debrief now on tomorrow to go, what didn't work? Are there better ways of doing this? Are there faster ways of doing it? Is there equipment that we need? Are there, because there's a lot going on here. And I think for us, that's always the key thing is, the content is so good that the delegates want to watch the content. So if you're saying, we're going to run a podcast from there, but you've got great content for 2 days with no gap, it's quite difficult to go, do you want to miss the person talking about Grenfell that was absolutely amazing and life-changing for everyone? Sit and talk to me? Yeah.
Really difficult to do, right? Yeah. You are competing, ironically, with content.
Yeah.
Which is a great place to be. You want that to happen. You know? You do want that. You want to be able to capture that buzz and bring it in at the right moment. Really difficult to do so with the podcast. at points when you've got that content out there. I was actually thinking this morning's keynote around AI is not going to come and take your job, it's just going to take your workflows, something like that, paperwork.
Right.
It actually gave me a bit of a think of, I need to go and stress test.
I do paperwork.
Yeah. Oh shit. You should see me scurry out of that room. I get asked on a weekly basis as a copywriter, is they're going to take your job?
Well, we talked about this.
We've spoken about this at
most
length,
annoying conversation
100%,
ever.
yeah. And I'm not going to get us back into that bit. Yeah. But it did make me think this morning when I was listening to the panel and the keynote around it. Well, actually, I wonder if I stress test the use of AI as much as possible, doing what I'm doing down on site with HSE at the moment.
Yeah.
How much of it can it do in terms of the actual creative, which I suspect will probably be 30, 40%, maybe. How much of it can start optimizing workflows for me on site?
Yeah.
That would definitely be more, probably around the 60% mark. But the reason that I was so interested in that and started thinking of it in a different way is if I can start getting AI to do some of the more operational work that's going on around the event from a content capturing perspective, I can then spend more time connecting those less logical, more emotive dots in storytelling that will then further lift that content up. So I'd be really interested. I think one of the actions that I'm taking away from this is to go back and start speaking with Paul, Katie, the wider HSE team, us as conversations, but also other event providers out there to really start seeing, outside of the speakers that you have on stage, outside of the social posts that you're putting out with hashtags out onto your channels, what other on-site live content, live in inverted commas content, are you doing down at your events?
Yeah.
One. And two, to what degree are you using AI to help facilitate efficiencies, optimization of workflow, that kind of stuff in there? Because I think that could actually be a relatively big gap at the moment, and something that with the right want and experience, you could close that gap quite quickly and start delivering even more content to your delegation on site in the right way.
Yeah.
More does not mean quantity. It means quality in the right moments and giving them those insights that they can resonate with and take back to the office. That's what's really exciting for me down here at the moment.
Yeah, I think everything's an optimized. Paul talked about, kind of event was good, could be great. It's the same in Nashville. It's always that kind of next thing. It's never satisfied with it.
Oh, you've noticed that as well then?
Apart from a butterscotch brownie, which I've never seen him so happy with anything as he was with those brownies.
Over the moon.
Yeah, it was amazing to see someone so content with a brownie. But maybe he was just really tired. It was the sugar. It was just. I think
it was a combination of all of the above.
This is nice. It's everyone seems to be doing that. So I started chatting to Dale as well. Obviously, him coming on board with HSE, that's going to add another string to that bow. You and I kind of part of it this year. Last year, just you. Yeah. How many years have you done this?
This is year 2.
Yeah. So they're sort of like that, right? Okay, this is working really, really well. What you're doing, and obviously is because it's getting brought up with no.
Yeah.
What do you think of the fielder? That didn't come up. That was just brought up naturally. So that's definitely kind of found its home and is working. And so this may take, a little while to work out what the format exactly is, but that's going well. I think it's raising for Paul. It's that HSE Global Series kind of, real differentiation between this and other events. There isn't anything like this.
Yeah, massively. I think this idea of community, right? It's such an overused word in the event space, right? Just in the B2B event space, let alone in general. But putting a stamp on an event and saying, join our community, be a part of our community. I mean, you probably see it on fridges nowadays, I would have thought.
But at home, I have that. My partner, and my daughter. We are a community. Yeah. Be part of the community. Engage with the community.
Yeah. Stop being so grumpy.
Yeah. How I deliver PowerPoint.
What, on the fridge? That's tech coming full circle.
Yeah.
But I think what HSE, led by Paul and Katie, do an amazing job of really trying to actively building a year-round community. Yeah. This is not just come down to X location for 2 days, listen to some amazing speakers, talk to some like-minded people, and then back to the office. Good luck. We hope you got some value out of it.
Yeah.
They are proactively wanting to stay connected to the delegation and the community, but perhaps more importantly, have everybody in that delegation become connected with one another throughout the year.
Yeah.
And I think if you look at you guys from Orchard Labs coming down here when we first met last year, that community also extends out to us behind the scenes.
Yeah.
It's rare to be able to meet people like Orchard Labs on site, talk about content in the way we do. You're bringing your expertise down. Case in point, what we're doing here right now. A whole load of other things that you'll see out on the channels from HSE Global that are Orchard Labs stamps.
Yeah.
And we're having those conversations around content because we are a part of the community in our own right. And we want to deliver engaging, authentic content that can help support everything and everybody around this push that HSE Global Series is going through, not just for the HSE industry, but I hope and I feel for the wider B2B events space as well. So I think what I definitely have started to see is the early signs of true community being built above and beyond a marketing term. I think that's a really exciting place to be in from content perspective as well. And then working with yourselves and seeing what happens at Orchard Labs and being able to learn a lot from you guys about how you tell stories and how you look at some of the sponsors and delegates and their brands and how they tell their stories. We were talking about empathy yesterday. I think that's a really exciting space that I didn't really know much about.
Yeah.
So just even being able to engage on that level is being a part of a community above and beyond, as I say, just come down, get a ticket, see what goes on, and hopefully you gain some value out of it.
Well, we're going to end it there, but I am going to say get in touch with Nick. His stuff is awesome. He's a really great guy to work with. It's been, a pleasure as always, my friend. And we will catch up in the next event and see. Oh, I should give you a question, shouldn't I, to answer in the next podcast. If you were a sandwich, what kind of sandwich would you be? Stay tuned.
God.
For the answer. Okay, in 4 months' time, you'll get the cliffhanger to the question.
Get away from the next episode, I mean, tuna.
Yeah. We might put a teaser out.